This is a HeadGum podcast.
Thank you to NatureBox for sponsoring this episode of If I Were You. Yeah, start snacking healthy with NatureBox. You know, NatureBox makes snacks that actually taste great and are better for you because they're made with high-quality ingredients that are free of artificial colors.
Those are 2 things I look for in snacks.
So, how does it work? NatureBox recently made their service even better, so you can order as much as you want, how often you want, with no minimum purchase required, and you can cancel anytime, and these snacks are delivered right to your door. It's convenient as heck. And with NatureBox, they have so many varieties, you'll never get bored. We're talking about lemon tea biscuits. We're talking about mini cocoa Belgian waffles. They got cashew crumble. They got nuts. They got pretzels. They got plantains. They got dried fruit, lentil loops, something for everybody, I guarantee it. Over 100 snacks to choose from. So what do? You go to naturebox.com/ifiwereyou, and you get 50% off your first order.
Love it.
So once again, it's naturebox.com/ifiwereyou for 50% off your first order. New year, new you, new snacks.
Us, new snacks, new them.
naturebox.com/ifiwereyou. Same old offer code.
If I were you.
Tease the tea. Tease the tea. Hey, sir, man, give me a banana, man. Tease the tea. Tease the tea.
If I were you.
Tease the tea. Tease the tea.
Dude, maybe like a PB and cut the crust, man.
Tease the tea. Tease the tea.
If I were you.
Wilson DeSimony.
Okay.
Stretching the definition of what music can be. Laura Hurwitz, what did you think?
I actually thought that was like catchy. Like it's kind of stuck in my head.
That was actually written by somebody who does jazz medley / remixes of people like Childish Gambino and Kanye, who I assume are 2 of your favorite rappers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, that was really cool. I mean, just when you thought you had it, it like eluded you.
Right.
That was,
Not unlike jazz.
yeah.
Just when you think you understand it.
Yeah.
It goes to a different place. And that person's SoundCloud, if you want to hear those remixes, is soundcloud.com/WillyWillyWillyWilly. That's 4 Willies in a row, back to back, WILLY.
Smart.
Easy to remember.
Laura, Jake's mom.
That's right. My mother's in the
Yeah.
studio, so treat her with respect and deference, please.
What do you mean deference?
I don't know.
She's the English
I just said it for a reference.
and reverence. Is this your 3rd time on our show?
I think it's 3rd or 4th, perhaps.
Oh my
Might be
gosh.
4th.
Fourth, because I think she did it twice in New York and once here in L.A.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah, I think
recorded.
that's true.
We recorded at your house once.
That's right, in that horrible little shed in the backyard.
That's
that
right.
Smelled like mold and mildew.
That's
that was
right.
fun.
that shed is still there, and it still kind of smells like mold and mildew, right?
Yeah,
Worse than it
maybe
did before.
worse. Yeah, I think so.
You
Only
should-
gone downhill.
You should get that checked out.
Yeah. You know, I think we should get it raised,
What does that mean?
leveled.
Leveled up. Raised another level.
Oh, like the entire the idea of the shed to be
Yeah.
raised one level. Not to
We should all be
actually
living in the shed.
raise it. In a way, we are. Well, thank you for coming back on our show.
Oh God, thank you for having me. I love it here. I don't want to leave.
The studio,
She hates
the show.
She's talking about Los Angeles.
Right. No, either one, but I mean, LA in particular, that's actually what I was talking about. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't. I feel like I'm going to be, like, people are going to be dragging my legs and
Did
I'm
you?
going to be clutching
I wouldn't want to
onto
go
it.
home either if I was married to fucking dad.
What?
If I was married to my dad, I wouldn't want to go home.
Oh my
either.
God. He is the best. He is the best. You know that.
No, Jake just means it's weird to marry your own father.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine if I was married to my dad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be weird. I wouldn't want to go home to that either.
No
Okay.
fucking way.
I mean, that's illegal. Have you
How did
always
it happen?
Have you always loved LA, or is this just a recent love affair?
You know what? It's kind of recent.
Don't say the word
I mean,
affair in front of my mother. You're trying to plant all these weird inception ideas, seeds. So stop it. Rescind the question.
Have you always liked Los Angeles?
Thank you.
You know, I
But
think
tread lightly.
I'm already treading pretty darn lightly.
I think I grew to like it over the past time that like Jake's been out here.
Oh, really?
Because we used to live in Palo Alto.
Yeah.
And I loved it up there, but I always thought LA was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that.
Sorry about that. Continue.
I don't feel like that anymore. I love it. I don't know. The energy here, it's really great. People are so friendly. It's crazy. Like you go anywhere, people say, hi.
My mom is
how
the
are you?"
rudest person in Los Angeles.
And that's saying a lot.
That really is saying a whole lot.
Yeah, most people don't say that about LA. Most people come to LA, it's like everyone's so like apathetic and rude and disinterested.
Oh my God, no. I mean, I went out this morning for a walk and people did not shut up. But it was so sweet. Like this woman's telling me about her dog, and I was telling Jake this guy was harassing me earlier because
And you love it.
And I loved it. No, but it was like actually sweet. I was walking down the street and the sidewalk was narrow and he saw me coming and I turned around just to give him room. And then he was saying, you don't need to leave. You can stay here. I mean, he really tried to engage me as I
Tell me
tried to
where
go
that
away.
guy is. I'm going to kick his ass.
You're very sweet. Does it ever get to the point where like even somebody sweet annoys you? Like when you said somebody walked up to me, talked to me about their dog. Like that would annoy me. Would it ever get to the point like after a few hours where you're just like leave me alone, or you're just like this is great, I love talking to strangers?
I think I'm always, this is great. I love talking to strangers. I don't know. I think that's from living in New Haven where people like avert their eyes. Nobody talks to anyone.
Yeah.
It's just not a friendly place.
It's a town filled with people like me. Maybe we should switch places.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you came to New Haven, though, remember you saw a friend from California.
Oh yeah, and I just put my head down and I
Yeah,
said,
you
keep
did. You were
walking,
like-
brother. I don't need this right now. So you've been on the show before, so you understand that this is an advice podcast.
Yes, sir, I do.
So we do our best to answer these emails that come in from confused people all throughout the world. If you have your own question, it's ifiwereyoushow@gmail.com. So we found a few questions today that hopefully you can help us answer. I tried to search for questions that maybe Jake and I wouldn't have the same level of wisdom as you because it comes from like a parental standpoint. But then
cool.
You're the smartest lady in the world, Mama.
Aw.
I love you. No one's smarter than my mama.
all right. Okay. So
She's a genius.
Oh, my God.
got it.
I love you, Mama.
Oh, Jake.
A
So
real scholar right here.
yeah. Let me get to the first question, which
Of course. She'll have the answer.
all right. Well, there's
My
no right or
mama.
wrong. It's just someone's opinion.
And
on
I do
that.
adore her.
Yep. So this email comes from a 24-year-old female who's happily married to her soulmate.
Wow, she's young.
That's right. Do you have a name that we can refer to this person as?
Let's call her Michelle.
That's really nice. Michelle writes, I'm a 24-year-old female, and I'm married to my soulmate. See, I wasn't lying.
Congrats.
Everything is fantastic. We have our own house, stable careers, small business, nice cars, and dogs. We're perfectly satisfied with what we have. But here's the problem. For some reason, people are always asking if and when we are going to have kids. Literally everyone. Friends, family, coworkers, even strangers. It's as if our lives won't be valid until we have children. Well, we aren't going to. Ever. I have known my whole life that kids are not for me, and my husband is on the same page. After people ask this base question, they always take it a step or two further. Some even go on to ask, why not? To which I could easily respond to a list of 1,000 reasons why not to have kids. 1, overpopulation. 2, free time, money, sleep, traveling the world, race car stuff, the emo phase, plus all the small things.
All the small things. I blasted that song throughout my house for a long time.
second.
That makes
It's
sense.
true. It's true.
Explaining why we don't want to have kids to people who just don't get it is bad enough. But then some people go on to tell me that I will change my mind or even worse, they try to convince me that I should try to have kids. One time, someone even tried to make me hold their baby in an attempt to give me baby fever. Ew. No, thank you. So my question is...
dropped it promptly.
Not interested. So my question to you is this. What would be a good way to respond to people if and when we plan on having kids that will shut down any follow-up questions or comments they may have for me without straight up telling them to just mind their own goddamn business? P.S. Jake, what do you think of the new Blink-182 album? Is it even Blink without Tom?
It's really funny that I sang Tom Blink-182 song.
Yeah, well, the subject line of this email is actually all the small things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That
Cool.
is so interesting.
So do you want to answer that Blink-182 question first?
It's not the same without Tom.
Okay.
But you can still listen to Angels and Airwaves and get all the Tom that you want.
So, Laura, do you sympathize or remember a time where this was the case with you? How long were you married before you had kids?
7 years, actually. So it was quite a while, but...
She was also married when she was 19.
Yeah, I was married really, really
Teenager.
young. I was in college still. So we...
You were like a sophomore in college.
Was that normal, or
Yeah.
were your parents like, what the hell are you doing?
It was kind of not normal, but my parents were okay with it. They were they had this rule that we couldn't live with anyone until, like, we couldn't live with a prospective spouse. They wanted all of their kids to be married.
Oh, is that a religious thing?
A sort of, probably a little bit, and just kind of a prudish 1950s thing.
Yes,
it was strange.
So did Sam propose because he wanted to live with you faster?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. He graduated from college and he was going to medical school. So we just kind of decided that it was a good time to get married. It saved on college, I didn't have to pay for my dorm,
wow.
for room and
'Cause you
board.
just lived with
so
him.
I lived with him and I commuted to school.
Did your
So-
parents like your husband to be?
Yeah, they really did. I think his parents
Why?
had...
Wrong.
What did they
Mikey.
see in him that I don't?
He's so smart and all that stuff. I mean, they really liked him
Jake's
a lot.
taking
Big
apart
whoop, you're smarter than he is.
Jake's taking apart a Barbie right now.
Just the head.
He's sort of ripping hair out of a Cabbage Patch doll. He's a disgruntled youth. So they were like, "This is great. Marry this guy."
Yeah, they were okay with it. They really were. I think Sam's parents had a bigger problem with me.
Really?
Because my
Yeah,
mother's a
'cause
shiksa.
I'm a shiksa.
Oh, and they wanted him to find
That's
a
right, I'm
Jewess.
part
Yeah.
Christian. And you can call me Christian.
Christian part.
Yeah, so that was a problem, but I didn't convert.
What did they want you to?
They wanted me to convert, and I started conversion classes, but then I'm not really religious, and it just seemed like so much work to go through. It just didn't seem like it was worth my time. So the kids all were. I had them converted, like they were mikvahed. We went through the whole
Wow.
process.
I bathed with a rabbi.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy duty because Sam's conservative.
Is he still conservative? He doesn't
Yes.
strike me as extremely religious.
Dad hasn't been to temple
He
since
had
my bar mitzvah.
He had a little bit of I don't even know if I should say this, but he had a little bit of a falling out with a rabbi.
Really?
Yeah, and he still watches services like Yom Kippur. He sits in front of his computer and he watches, I think, some temple in New York. He'll watch it.
Did
the
you know
service
that?
on
No.
He does.
That's not religious.
Well,
Jake starts
This
crying.
is actually upsetting me.
Everything else is kind of silly, but my God. Attending an eTemple.
Yeah, he's attending an eTemple. Yeah, I think he just feels like that on Yom Kippur.
Right.
That's a big holiday for him. I mean, it just like
That's
I
the
think
important
the gravitas.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if
He
you only go
feels
once
that.
a year, it should be then.
That's it. Because Passover, I mean, we do the whole Haggadah. We do all that thing,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
kind of more lighthearted.
Right. As
Yeah.
Passover is.
Yeah, right.
So when you were married for 7 years without kids, did people ask you, hey,
Yeah.
when is this happening?
Yeah, they did. They did. And we really wanted kids. So that's
That's
I
the
always
difference.
said that,
Soon?
Yeah, so that kind of got me out of a lot of things.
That seems
but
like a decent answer for this girl.
Just
You
say
say
like, soon.
I mean, she's 24. She's got a lot of time to say soon.
Yeah. And then at 30, it's like, okay, I've decided not to have children.
I guess then you've been lying to everybody. I think that it's time that we should start taking it back. Just be like, I'm not going to have any. No apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm not going to. And they say, why not? Like,
Because I don't want to.
I don't want them.
Just
I don't want the
'em.
babies.
A lot of reasons.
Yeah.
A lot of reasons. And then shut it down. But if she really wants to close people down from asking questions, though, she can say, oh, we can't have kids.
Oh,
and usually
that's
people
good.
are ashamed into not saying anything more.
I wish we could.
Yeah.
But that's
yeah,
actually pretty
yeah.
good because you just say, we can't have kids.
We
And then
can't.
it's like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Like, you don't want to press.
Yeah.
But
And it's
like,
not like
really,
a
it's like,
medical
no, I
reason.
can't handle it.
Yeah. I can't handle having kids.
We can't have kids. It would
you-
suck too much.
That's funny. That's a funny tweet. I just found out I can't have children. They would suck too much.
That is funny.
I dust off the old Twitter.
Are you of the quote unquote old fashioned way of thinking where it's like, why don't you want to have kids? Isn't that the whole point? Or do you understand?
I totally understand. And I don't know if things being the way they are now, I don't know how I would feel about having kids, quite honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think the world's like,
Oh, it's
pretty
fucked.
messed. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you could go back in time, you would maybe have 3 of your 6 children.
I actually would. I would still have those 6 kids because I mean, I feel like they're
Even
like
Rachel?
Chick's a joke.
Easy does it.
I feel like if you
Easy fucking does it, Blumenfeld.
You're setting me
What
up.
goddamn flesh and blood you're talking about.
but
You can talk about Liza like that, but not Rachel.
All right. Lies is a joke.
All right.
oh my
It's
god,
actually
you
quite
guys.
enough.
What?
But I mean, I feel like I had 6 like really good contributing. I mean, they're really good people. I guess when you go into it, you don't know how your kids are going to turn out. So I don't know. I certainly didn't intentionally have 6 kids. I mean,
Yeah.
that was just like
Dumb luck.
Yeah.
dumb luck.
Me
or
and Hannah were
fate
actually
or
the only on purpose babies.
Yes,
you
you
have
are.
4 tiny little mistakes after
Scampering about.
the perfect 2.
Hither and thither.
Hannah, Jake, mistake 1 through 4. Those are the
Mistake Hurwitz. 2 out of 6 ain't bad. That was like LeBron in the finals, and nobody sort of gave him any guff. I think that's the best advice to say we can't.
Yeah, we can't. It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it really does just kind of shut people down. They don't pry.
Yeah.
If they're polite.
And then it's funny. It's like, imagine if someone's saying, we can't. And then you say, why not?
Why not?
What gives? And you sort of poke and prod at the woman's womb.
Is it you or him, sweetheart?
Let me take a look at his nuts. Oh. All right, cool. Here is another question from a guy. This question's from a man in Pittsburgh. Do you have a Pittsburghian guy's name?
Well, actually, see, I'm going with this election theme. So
Okay.
I had Michelle, and now I want Bernie.
Bernie.
Yeah.
All right. We're for feeling the burn.
We're
This
feeling
is-
the burn.
This is Bernie from Pittsburgh. Recently, I've realized that, like REM, I am losing my religion. My parents are regular church-going Christians and have always brought me to church under the assumption that I too am Christian, like they raised me. I cannot stand to sit in church any longer, and I am tired of them signing me up for church-related events. How do I tell them about my lack of faith? I know it would disappoint them, and they might get angry. What should I do? Should I man up and go to church for the next 2 years until I go to college and can move out? Or should I tell them now? Thanks, guys. Love, Bernie.
Wow, that's interesting. I think manning up would not be just going to church. I
Oh,
feel like that would be the opposite
of manning
it.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like,
even
should
though
I man
that's-
up and just do whatever they tell me to do?
man up and be a sheep.
Yeah.
Sheep up.
Yeah.
And be a man.
Bah. Sheep up, man.
I think that's a tough question.
Are you more or less religious than your parents were?
Oh, way less. Like I am. I say I'm an agnostic because I want to have, like a little bit of an out in case God does prove himself or herself to or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
to me.
I didn't say I didn't believe. I just said I didn't know.
I didn't
As
know.
he throws you into
I'm
hell.
still questioning. Yeah, that's it.
You should have been sure. Later, Laura.
Rawr.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Macho Man God. So did you have to ever tell your parents, like, by the way, I'm not as religious as you?
I think they figured that out kind of somewhere along the line. I mean, I went through like church and confirmation and I did all those things. And I even taught Sunday school.
You taught Sunday school?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That's
I
pretty
did.
intense.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. But my heart was never, and I always felt like I was sort of telling stories and I was amusing kids by telling these far out
folk tales.
Fiction, folk tales. Yeah, it's like Aesop's fables or something.
Yeah.
That's how real they felt to me. Yeah. No, I always think, I mean, it doesn't, I think organized religion is just a tough sell if you're at all a person who thinks a lot, tends to overthink things, and I do.
Like too critical of a thinker to believe blindly.
Yeah.
To have faith in this, whatever.
Yeah, to have faith, period.
But it seems like you do have faith.
I have a lot less faith this year than I've had at other points in my life.
You were this close to believing in God.
Yeah, or at least in like
before
the
November.
human principle.
Yeah, maybe he
or
could prove himself
something.
to you by striking Donald Trump with lightning.
That would
And
work.
delivering us the president we all wanted, Mike Pence.
Mike Pence, none the richer.
I think that God would have to strike down like
A whole line of people.
yeah,
I
like
mean, Pence,
24
Ryan.
people
How far do you
before-
have to go down to get to like somebody?
I guess if like the top, even 3 people were struck by lightning and died, we would do some type of like real examining of the whole thing.
Yeah,
right?
like what's going on here?
Like, I don't think the president tempore steps up after Trump, Pence,
Hard pass
and
from
Paul Ryan.
Oh shit!
You know what? I don't want the job. Like 3 lightning strikes, and then everybody else is probably like, I'm not going to pass.
And then they'll all be putting Hillary up there.
Oh,
all
that'd
right.
be good.
Okay, waiting for
strike her, God.
All right, now it's her turn.
It seems that children are less religious from their parents, or is it just in your expertise? Is it I want to do the opposite? Like, do atheist parents create faithful children?
Right. Well, we have
Interesting.
little religious kids.
Right. Or is it like
Yeah.
I'm going against what my parents think? They don't know the real me, or is it like we're all becoming less and less religious?
I'm wondering. I don't know.
over every generation?
My brother is kind of more religious, I believe, than my parents were.
Oh, really? More so than parents?
I think so. Like I was raised Congregationalist, so and he married a woman who's Episcopalian, and they he's like a deacon in the church. I mean, he takes it
Am I
really
a Congregationalist?
seriously. I mean, like,
Half at least.
What kind of Christian am I, Mama?
that would be the kind that you. I mean, that's what we are or
Wow.
were. They're kind of like Puritans, but modern day.
Modern day Puritan.
That's kind of it.
It's a lot
Pilgrims of
nicer than a
sorts.
Like
filthy
pilgrims,
Jew.
You never really hear about, like, can your parents be so religiously Christian that they would be disappointed in you marrying a Jewish person? I don't really hear about that.
I think my parents were super open-minded, and that actually Congregationalists are like the first ones to be like open and affirming with like gay marriage and stuff like that. They're very,
Got it.
yeah. So it's a very like liberal form of Protestantism.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think other parents might have been upset. Like if I were raised like a strict Catholic or something,
They'd be like,
probably
really like, you cannot marry a Jewish person.
that actually, yeah, that probably would have upset them. And I know, Sam's family was definitely a lot more upset about
The other way around.
The other way around, because I know it's matrilineal. I know there's a whole bunch of.
And then where do
stuff.
your children lie on the gamut? If it's like Christianity on one side, Jews on the other, are they all relatively clumped in the middle?
I feel like it, Jake. You might. I don't know what your feeling is about that, but I mean, do you feel like you all got your bar and bat mitzvahs? I mean,
Do I feel like I'm religious?
Are you religious at all?
I'm a vehement. I vehemently believe that God does not exist.
He's not even.
Really?
He doesn't even want the out.
Yeah,
See?
He doesn't want that.
Wow.
I'm good without the out.
Wow.
You're that certain. You'll risk hell and high water. That's the worst kind of water. Hell and hard water.
Well, maybe I shouldn't say I'm a vehement atheist because, like, I feel like some atheists are like really want to push that on everybody too. And I don't give a fuck at all.
Really? That's awesome, dude.
It's like-
But what about your siblings? Are they more like you?
I mean, Eliza. This is an interesting thing. Eliza's always praying for things.
Oh, but she's not really. This
But I
is
think she-
don't you do not, mother. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, she
Liza's not.
does.
She says that as a joke. Nobody in the family is religious.
I
Do you
don't-
think Liza? Do you think
I don't
Liza's
know.
actually praying?
I actually think she might be. I'm
No,
just
Liza just
saying.
thinks it's stupid. Liza was a nun for Halloween too. Do you think that makes her like?
I don't know. I sort of think it might a little. I think
Let's get Liza on the horn. Let's fucking figure this out.
No, of course not. She's not religious. No, nobody in the family is religious.
No family of
I didn't
mine.
even know that. I'm honestly skeptical that my father attends an eTemple.
An
You-
e-synagogue.
I want you to-
I'm going to text him. I'm going to text him right now. We'll find out after the break.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Well, actually, I
All
think
right.
he has a really busy day today at work.
Yeah,
So we better call him. He might ignore the text. Actually, I'll have a rabbi FaceTime him. So the question here specifically is, how do I tell them about my lack of faith?
I think he should just tell them how he feels. I think he might be surprised. I mean, it depends on how dogmatic they are, but I know if one of my kids came to me, like I wasn't upset at all to hear Jake say that he's a complete, a vehement atheist. I mean, I think everyone kind of has to form his or her opinion.
Oh, you didn't know that about Jake specifically.
I actually didn't. I thought that Jake was a little more like kind of spiritual or
I am spiritual, but that means I believe in like the beauty of the universe and life more than I don't believe that God did anything. I think the world's crazy and cool enough on its own without being like somebody created it in 6 days. Like I don't think that's true.
Yeah, it's probably closer to 7, right?
Well, because if you count the rest,
There's the rest.
which you
day.
do,
There's
like
the
if you're
If you're
pumping
working out.
iron.
You have to let your muscles grow, God. Don't blow your load on 6 full days without a single rest.
Isn't it funny? Like he created the world in 6 days, and on the 7th day he rested. Then didn't he rest on the 8th day too?
Yeah, did he then
didn't
go back to work?
create? Like you created in six days, and then you've been resting since then.
God.
Do something with your time, bro.
Like, what's the newest food,
Did
God?
you create a new world? If anything, we've been fucking losing animals.
How do you explain the dodo? What would you do if a smarmy little 8-year-old was asking you that in Sunday school?
Yeah. That
She'd
I
give
would
him a
be
spanking,
stymied.
which is what my mother was ultimately fired for.
She would spank Willie and Nilly. Willie, and Nilly. So I'm sure, Jake, you would just say, don't fucking do any of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna stop. This is gonna be a hard conversation to have with your parents in 2 years. So you might as well just like start it now.
But you, at a certain, like, this kid is still before 18. Like, you still went to Hebrew school and stuff. You weren't,
Yep,
like, putting your
after-
foot down at a certain age.
Well, I guess the Hebrew school ended at when I was like 12 or 13.
13, yeah.
I don't think I was doing anything I didn't want to do past like 16.
Can you confirm or deny?
Yeah, that is totally true. It was hard to get him to go till there was one time he actually hid in the house. He hid under
Planking
his bed.
under the table.
I
see your
He
feet.
did.
I hid under the bed for like 2 hours
It
rather
was
than
2
go to Hebrew
hours.
school.
This is true.
It really would have been a lot more fun to go to Hebrew school.
Yeah. You're just like, I'm so stubborn, I'll stay under a bed.
There was another time that we were going to Hebrew school. My dad had a 2-door, like a coupe.
Jumped out of a moving car.
And, my sister Hannah and Hannah got out, and I was like crawling in to get out, and she shut the door, like forgetting that I was in there, and the door shut on my head. So I started like bawling, and like, I can't go. And this is like, there's like a loop to drop people off. So my dad was just like, fuck it. And he drove, he was like, all right, fine. And we drove home, and I'm like lying down, drinking chocolate milk, watching Aladdin. It was like 15 minutes later. He's like, all right, you're better. You're going to go. You'll just be late. And it like really threw me. I was like, no.
We already did this.
I got out of it.
I'm watching fucking Aladdin now.
We lived 2 minutes away from the temple. I so easily could have gone back.
Classic.
Did you ultimately go back?
I believe I did have to go back.
Yeah, I feel like Dad would not have let that rest.
Yeah, how did you send kids to Hebrew school if you didn't even believe this stuff yourself? If they're like, I don't want to go, you don't believe in it, would you be like, yeah, you still have to go? Or you'd be like, yeah, I guess you're right, never mind.
I think I was pretty much, no, you have to go, because that was something Sam and I kind of decided on. That
Oh, there
we
was a
would-
conversation.
Yeah, we said we we were going to have
But I
everyone.
don't think it was
born
ever.
bar mitzvah.
At least it never felt like you need to go and learn the religion. It was just
Yeah.
like, this is your responsibility. You have
Yeah.
to go.
That's it. And it felt more like a cultural or secular thing. Like I felt like that was just being able to have a Jewish identity. I just felt like that was really important. But now all of you say you're Christian and Jewish, which is like kind of interesting to me because I kind of thought I was.
I almost say that's like what. Yeah, it is weird that I would still say that because I don't consider myself either.
Yeah, because you're pretty much not anything. It's
Yeah.
true. I don't know what you are. You're like a secular humanist. I think that's what they call it. If you're just like
I'm actually going to go back to being Puritan.
I'm already halfway there with the beard. All right, let's take a break, and we'll come back with more questions for Laura. And I guess us too.
Aw.
Thank you as well to Casper for sponsoring this episode. Casper, you guys know what it is. It's a sleep brand that created the one perfect mattress and sold it directly to consumers. They basically had an in-house team of engineers spending thousands of hours developing the Casper. Imagine that, thousands of hours developing one mattress, going in to work every day, coming home. How'd you work today, honey? It was pretty good. I worked on the fucking mattress again, over and over until it was perfect. And then they got it. Supportive memory foam for our sleep surface that's got just the right sink and just the right bounce, plus breathable design. And a Casper mattress is completely risk-free, which means they give you a free delivery and a free return, plus a 100-night home trial. If you don't love it, they'll pick it up and give you your money back. It's already very, very affordable, and even more so if you use our coupon code, which gives you $50 toward any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/ifIwereYou. That's casper.com/ifIwereYou. Jake sleeps on a Casper. I sleep on a Casper. We can't say enough good things about the Casper. If you're in need of a new mattress, check them out. Go to casper.com/ifIwereYou. $50 off any mattress purchase. Casper.com/ifIwereYou. Let's get back to Jake and his mommy. And we've returned.
Hola.
Hey.
We touched upon this briefly at the beginning, but you're desperately trying to move to Los Angeles.
Yeah, I
Is
am.
that an actual thing, or you want to be bi-coastal?
I guess for now I want to be bi-coastal because I still like Sam, despite what Jake is saying over here.
Everything I try to convince her to do.
But I think eventually we want to end up here. I mean, I love this state. It's like the best.
California is a great state.
It
There's no
is.
doubt in my mind.
It is. It's the best state. Sorry, everyone, but yeah, it's just true.
But there's still a lot of good other states. Like being the second best state is also pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say.
What up,
name
Vermont?
that.
You're listening. If you had to choose half a year to live here, would you do it when it's super cold in Connecticut? Or
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like the thought of going back to 30-degree weather, 20-degree weather, it just...
so like a November to May thing in LA.
Yeah, maybe October to the beginning of June.
Oh, so
I don't
now
even want to be chilly.
I'd hate for me not to sweat ever.
That's how I mean, I know that's crazy, but I love...
No, that's how I feel.
That's how you feel, too?
Yeah, I moved to New York, and like every winter I dreaded it, and I disliked it.
Don't you sort of dread it, like on a visceral level?
Yeah,
like you
like
just
it's
feel like you
painful
could
to me.
die.
Yeah,
I really
me
grew out of the
too.
weather thing. Like, I don't
It
care
pains
that
me.
much.
Yeah,
I'm like amused when it's really cold.
yeah, I hate it.
I hate it, too.
That's funny.
So hopefully, once you do move out here, you can be a permanent fixture on our show.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
And then eventually we can phase out one of the other hosts. I don't know. We'll discuss it.
It'll just be me and my mother.
Mommy and Me, but the podcast. I wonder if that is a podcast, Mommy and
Mommy
Me.
and me.
I feel like it is probably.
Did you ever go with Jake to Mommy and Me?
Yes, I did. I did.
What
and
the
then
fuck is mommy and me?
It was like a gymnastic. It was at Little Rascals. Remember? Little Rascals gym.
I remember Little Rascals.
And I would sit with you and you would do things and, you know, I would like make you roll over and yeah, it's like, I don't know, like training.
This
a
is when I
little
was how
puppy.
old?
You were
19?
I don't remember rolling over before I was 19. Did you see anything in Jake as a 2-year-old that you still see now?
yeah, actually a lot of stuff.
You can like extrapolate.
Yeah, I mean he had a rather short attention span.
What?
Jake just left the room. He saw a Rubik's Cube out there.
It's square.
And He also used to pee frequently, which is something he still does.
Still do that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Absolutely, I still do that.
And he gets scared a little sometimes when things are, sorry, I have to, like, sometimes you get, like, you can get freaked out a little bit.
By what?
I don't know, like scary things, like suggestions, the things that are scary.
Like the future. You did recently tell me that you're afraid of ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like that kind of thing.
but not like, I don't know. Not, yeah. Sure. I'm afraid of ghosts.
And on the contrary, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. All right. Do you want to answer a few more questions?
Oh, yeah. That would
These
be
ones
fun.
a little bit more in the realm of what we're used to. Some relationship advice. This one is from another lady. You want to stick with the theme?
Yeah, we'll call her Hillary.
Hillary Clinton writes, I haven't seen Hillary tweet much recently, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
She did a delete your account one yesterday.
Yeah, she's still on it. She hasn't been that active on Instagram either since the day.
The OG IG.
Yeah, weird. Anyway, I've sent a few things to you in the past, but I'm in yet another sticky situation and would love your input. About 3 months ago, I started dating a new guy. We're fairly solid, and I like him a great deal. About a month before we started dating, he hooked up with a work colleague at a conference out of town. Recently, that colleague has started going through some serious personal and professional difficulties and has been calling and texting my boyfriend for moral support. I've heard a few of these calls, and they're not sexy, but they're intimate. He swears nothing romantic is happening, but it still makes me really uncomfortable. I am a naturally jealous person and have ruined things with past boyfriends because of my irrational jealousy. So I'm asking you guys, am I being irrational? Should I trust my new guy and ignore my nagging worries? What would you do? He's heading out on another work conference in a few months, and I'm totally dreading it. Love, Hillary.
Oh, it's kind of thematic.
Yeah. She's dreading something. She's a naturally jealous person. Is jealousy natural?
I think to some people it is.
Like, do animals get jealous? Are dogs jealous?
They get jealous
Yeah.
if another dog has a
Yeah.
bigger bone.
Oh, yeah, and they want the bone.
Yeah, that's. I
Yeah,
don't know
they
if they
get-
covet the bone the same way.
They covet the bone.
You think weeks later they're like, "Oh,
coveting
Rex
the
had a
bone."
really big bone last week."
Now he's going on a bone conference, and I'm dreading it.
This seems like the most rational time to be jealous ever.
Is the talking
Yeah.
to somebody you hooked up
Jealous.
with.
This is the crazy thing about jealousy to me is that it makes everybody crazy. It makes you feel crazy. It makes you like doubt all of your instincts because you're like, shit, am I just feeling like this because I'm jealous? I'm insane. Like maybe
Yeah.
I shouldn't. Like maybe I should be jealous. Maybe I shouldn't be jealous. And whatever. But if you need a little coaching through your jealousy, if your boyfriend hooked up with somebody,
Yeah.
and then continued to talk to them and have intimate conversations with them, A-okay on the jealousy.
Yeah.
You're good.
Is
That's
it still
fine.
jealous if it's earned? Like, if somebody cheated on you, are you jealous, or then it becomes
Suspicious.
angry?
Right. Or you're
I'm not jealous.
rightfully
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but isn't
absolutely.
it isn't like not cheating? Isn't that a jealous? Like, isn't the truest form of jealousy like someone actually cheating on you? And then it's like when someone's, oh, my boyfriend's talking to a girl, I'm jealous. If they hook up, are you still jealous?
No, then you're vindicated.
So you're jealous. Was jealous? Like, am I explaining this right? I'm kind of having a hard
Yeah,
time
no, you-
understanding.
I'm having a heart
Totally-
attack.
Like, if
but
your
that's
jealous is
true.
correct, is it still jealous?
No, it's well founded.
But
It
is
was
it
like you
well-founded
had
jealousy?
a suspicion, and it's confirmed. That's like okay.
But is that,
but
is that
I guess
the
it-
purest
is that
form of
still
jealousy? Or
jealousy?
is
I
it,
don't think it's still jealousy. I
Because
think
jealousy is some sort of like
Conjecture.
you shouldn't be feeling this, right?
Right.
Like you're not it's not earned.
right? But is it jealous still?
no, because it's been proven.
So then you're not jealous anymore?
Well, it's gone beyond jealousy. It's like, yeah, I was right to
Well, that's
have this.
relationship jealousy though, because can't you like I could be jealous if somebody else like wrote a really great script that was getting made by HBO.
Right.
And that's not like I'm suspecting anything. That's
Yeah.
just like,
Right.
oh, this is happening and it makes me jealous because I want that for me.
Yeah, jealous is just
But
wanting
isn't-
something for yourself.
But then like
But
when
isn't-
it's relationships, it's not because like he's talking to this girl and she's like, I'm jealous because you're doing that. And it's not like I want to be talking to this girl. I guess you're saying I want your time and intimacy the same way.
Right. And if they're hooking up, it's like, I want that to be with me.
Yeah.
But then that doesn't seem like jealousy. That seems like adultery.
I
Right.
think so too. And also I think what Jake, the script analogy, like that's envy, which is like a different.
What's the difference? Can I read the definition between envy and jealousy?
Yeah, I feel like there's a difference between the two.
So jealous is feeling or showing envy of someone and their achievements. And envy is a feeling of discontent or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. So envy appears to be the root emotion.
Yeah.
Jealous is just feeling envy.
Yeah, and jealousy is a feeling that is not necessarily, founded.
Right.
Look up boondoggle.
Okay. Fuck. Not a word.
Awesome.
Actually, it's a work or activity that's wasteful.
Nice.
Much like searching the definition of boondoggle was. Yeah. All right. So you're saying this feeling of envy is fine.
I'm
and
saying break
rational.
up with
Yeah.
this motherfucker.
Break up?
I agree.
Yeah, I would
Break
break
up?
up with this guy. I would have broken up with him after he fucking cheated on me at a work conference.
Well, she
It
didn't
was
cheat. It
before
happened
they
before.
were, before they were.
Oh,
going
before?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that makes it a little bit better.
But to continue the relationship, I don't know how she said to him, please stop this. I'm not comfortable with it.
Maybe she's afraid to.
Because she's
coming off.
jealous in the past and she has a history
Yeah,
of
being irrationally jealous, and it's ruined other
Right.
relationships.
I think this is
Okay.
irrational jealousy. I actually
Yeah.
did. I misheard it, and I thought that he cheated on her.
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm a little less incredulous.
Okay.
But I do still think that, like, there's no reason that it had to be this guy that the girl is, like, leaning on for, like, all this emotional support with whatever the fuck she's going through.
Right.
Like, this is how really, like, affairs start.
Right.
Totally.
Right. I agree.
She's staying emotionally relevant in his life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they're going to go on a work conference.
Yeah. Not good.
But like, what, you can't tell him not to go on the work conference.
No, you just
No,
be like, hey, good
no,
news,
just
I'm
like-
coming too.
We're both going to be in the work conference. Me as an innocent bystander. Yeah, that sounds like a tough
An innocent
situation.
spy stander.
Very good. Thank you. Very, very good.
Thank you.
So, am I being irrational? No. Should I trust my new guy and ignore my nagging worries?
Oh no! Don't trust the new guy and don't ignore those worries. They're completely well
But
founded.
don't you have to trust the new guy? Like, what other options do you have?
I would just issue an ultimatum.
That's a dangerous game too.
Maybe so, but to live with that kind of like worry and concern. Also, if she's like a jealous, it sounds like that's kind of part of her nature.
Yeah.
I just think she needs someone who's not gonna. I mean, it's just like
You
I
don't
don't.
need to necessarily do ultimatum. You just need to have the discussion. You say, I am feeling this
Yeah.
way. I'm jealous. And you don't have to question its rationale or validity. You just say, I am feeling jealous. This is making me upset. What do you want to do about it? And if he's a good guy, then maybe he'll help and you guys can talk and figure out how to alleviate your concerns. And if
Yeah.
he's like, don't be jealous. I'm going on the work conference, babe.
Yeah.
Then fuck him. He sounds like he should be an understanding guy because he's spending hours on the phone with his coworker who's going through some kind of crisis. So if you're going through a similar crisis, you better spend some time with you too.
Yeah. I don't spend hours helping even my closest friends, let alone a girl I hooked up with 3 months ago.
That's the thing. And also emotional dependence on another person. I mean, that's a really intimate relationship, even if there isn't like
It's
sex
emotional
involved.
cheating.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's
Which is way better than the other kind of cheating because
Yeah.
you don't come during it.
Exactly. Unless it's really good advice.
Ay.
We've heard things from people that received advice from our show.
Mom, turn down the podcast. What would you do is the last question she asked. So you would issue an ultimatum?
I guess I don't know his side of it, but I think she just has to just be completely clear with him about how she's feeling. I think that that's important.
Jake, what would you do?
I would probably say, this is making me feel upset. Let's talk.
Stop talking to this dude.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
would you say,
I think I would say like I don't think I would issue that ultimatum like stop talking to this. I would be like, when you do this, it makes me feel like this. Now that you have that information, What do you want to do?
Do you think any of this has to do with what the other person looks like? Like if you were with a lady friend and she was talking to somebody weird and gross, would you feel less threatened?
Yeah, way less threatened.
Would you like even have this conversation with her?
Probably not. But like that's not, you can't just discount that. Like, oh well, so it's only looks. Like, yeah, that's why people hook up with people,
right?
Because they're attracted to them,
and they must be
Yeah.
attracted because they hooked up
They
on the
hooked
road.
up, yeah. I was
I'm
gonna
not,
say,
I'm not
so
worried
she
about like,
knows
oh,
he's
don't get
attracted.
emotionally close to anybody. That's a fucking crazy thing to say.
So it's like you can just say, don't get emotionally close to anybody who's
That's
also hot.
That's the recipe for a relationship.
Let's say
I
eights
care
and
about this
over.
person and I'm attracted to them. Oh shit,
Yeah, I mean,
that's the worst thing you can be as my boyfriend or girlfriend.
but you know he's attracted because he's slept.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, it's like that's been established that he's sexually
Yeah, that's
attracted
why
to this
the
other
jealousy
person.
is so earned, I
And
think.
that absolutely, yeah.
All right. Let's answer one more question. One last question.
Yes.
Do we have time?
You also didn't say what you would do in that situation.
I would probably bring it up, but not in an ultimatum type way.
Wow,
So I'd
I'm-
be like, it's kind of weird that you still talk to that guy in sort of a joking way where I'm like not coming off as a jealous, angry guy, but like kind of my way of like dealing with most actual confrontation is make a joke about it.
Oh man, that would drive me crazy
Yeah.
as your girlfriend.
I think it's kind of fucked up that you talk to that guy, sort of laughing about it.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know. You guys are both a lot more oblique than I mean. I think I would just say, hey, you know what? I really feel jealous and very upset when you do. I would
Yeah, I
be like just
wouldn't- I
like
would
so
not do
direct,
that.
and I want you to stop doing it.
Yeah, that's probably the right way to do it, but I can't imagine sitting someone down and like having a very serious being like, it really makes me upset that you do this.
Oh God, that's all I can imagine.
We're both wrong. Only me more so and you not at all. All right. An 18-year-old collegiate lady is writing the last question.
Oh God, who can maybe Nancy for Nancy Pelosi?
That's very nice.
You really didn't want to say Melania, huh?
Our first lady to be Fleodiaurs.
Is she the first non-American born first lady?
I heard or I read something that there was one other one. Somebody married a non-American. And I forget who it
Was it W? Was it George Bush?
No.
Or no, was it somebody?
Non-American first lady.
Oh, okay, no, that was Laura Bush. Forget that.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
she
Yeah,
wasn't.
she's
No, it was
very
someone.
American.
There was someone else.
Yeah, like this president married a daughter of an immigrant or was an immigrant, and then she moved into the White House. I'll just make one up and say
Willard Fillmore.
Priscilla Fillmore, my go-to made-up president. Oh, here we go. John Quincy Adams' wife, Louisa Catherine Johnson Adams, was the only first lady born outside of the U.S.
Interesting.
Where was she born?
Louisa Adams was born in London.
Oh, that really hardly
Yeah,
counts.
yeah. I was,
Yeah,
gonna
because
say
back
that's
then,
so
like
close.
London
Adams was like the
Yeah,
second president,
yeah.
right?
this John Quincy Adams, so the sixth president. Anyway,
Everyone's from fucking London then.
yeah, yeah, like Martha Washington wasn't from America. There wasn't America yet. I'm really kind of pissed off about that definition. Anyway, what's this lady's name? Nancy. Right.
Nancy
Pelosi.
yeah.
I recently just started my freshman year of college, and it's going great. Within the first week, I met this guy who lives in the dorm above me, and I immediately liked him. We started dating a month later, and it's been amazing. He's funny and cute and sweet, and we even do that annoying couple thing where we finish each other's sentences. I'm alone. Here's my issue. Even though we fool around like 6 to 7 times a week, he hasn't made me come yet.
You almost edited it for my mother, didn't
I almost
you?
said
Yeah.
orgasm. He hasn't made me come yet. Now I don't.
Say it again.
I'm okay. Now I didn't think much of it at first because I've never actually been with anyone before, like not even a little bit. And I figured it was just nervous because we've been dating for a month and a half and nada. I've started faking it mainly because I'm kind of embarrassed. It takes me so long, and honest. If I'm honest, it kind of turns me on.
To fake it?
I guess.
Interesting.
Do I tell him I've been faking it this whole time and shatter his libido? Do I keep faking it and just hope that the big ol' alley-oop eventually happens? I really, really like this guy, and I see a future between us, but I can't keep going up to his place and coming back to mine and masturbate to kink porn. I can't believe you chose this question for me, Reed.
Yeah, this is actually why I did it.
I don't want
I'm going to make everyone
feels
in this
more
room very uncomfortable.
Let's turn the temperature up. I don't want to break up with him, but I'm starting to really get sexually frustrated. Also, should I... Jesus Christ, Jake. How dare you? Why don't you read this question?
No.
Also, should I be going down on him more?
Wow.
I've only actually
The gall.
I've only actually given him head once, and he goes down on me all the time. Does that make me an inconsiderate lover? I don't mind giving him head, and I actually kind of like it, but every time I try, I chicken out. Any tips? Why aren't we having sex yet? And honestly, I don't even want to, and I can't imagine, and if you can't even get me off during foreplay, please help. What would you do if you were me? As always, love the show. Sincerely, Nancy. All right, a lot of stuff to unpack
And
there.
we're out of time.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that was a big one.
That was.
Why don't we focus on the big question, which was, if I've been faking an orgasm with a guy for months, do I ever tell him?
I chose the question because I wanted to know how women deal with an inadequate lover. My mother has been with a subpar man since 19.
92. All right. So, what are we thinking?
You
Is
know?
Papa a good lover?
How dare you ask?
Oh my God, Jake. Okay. I'll get back to this question, shall I? Let me redirect. And I don't think there's
Both
any...
of you guys are touching your hair so much.
Yeah.
I am. I'm actually
My
blushing.
soul is trying to crawl out of
This
my
is a
body.
really fun experiment for me.
So scary for me.
I would say I wouldn't tell him.
I
like the idea of
agree.
keep faking it until it happens, hopefully.
I'm completely on the same page.
Hopefully one day the
Absolutely.
flip switches and it's like, maybe one day when you're old, be like, I didn't really have an orgasm for the first 2 months, but then you did something great and it happened.
That's right, and you don't even need to tell the truth ever. You
Yeah.
can just not say anything.
One of
'cause-
those lie forever moments.
I think that it's probably worthwhile or it's not worthwhile to say, I've been faking it. What are you going to do to correct this? But I do think that you shouldn't just continue faking it, hoping that he gets lucky one of these times. You got to start coaching, because she's saying she goes back to her room to masturbate, so she knows how to get off.
Yeah.
She's got to be a little more verbal with him, and I think you could always do that in the form of positive reinforcement. Like when he's doing something that will eventually get you off, you say, "Don't stop, keep doing that."
Yeah.
And that'll be that. I think that's the way to do it. Also, they haven't had sex yet,
That's true.
so it'll be interesting to see if she gets off on insertion rather than stimulation. That's a total possibility. And Mom, how is Dad as a?
God.
I'm just kidding. I really don't want to know.
Yeah.
I was thinking you would absolutely not want to know.
You can get back at Jake by actually answering these questions.
Yeah,
No.
I think
Easy
I could.
does it.
I think I
Easy
totally
8.
could.
I'm calling the shots.
But I think she can probably do things almost non-verbally that would be helpful to her and helpful to him. I don't think she
All right,
needs
Ma,
to.
you're actually making me sick.
Sorry.
It might be this tuna
No, yeah,
sandwich.
that's valid. That's valid.
Yeah, I think that goes a long way.
Do we need to answer this question of should I be going down on him more?
If she said she likes it, then do it more. I'm sure. I don't think it's not like he doesn't like it.
Yeah, it's not like he's objecting.
Yeah, there is something in the ether or some unspoken rule about if I do it, then you have to do it too, as if it's that's the even playing field. And a lot of girls think that guys do it so that they do it to that.
Is that
basic
a
level
tit
of
for
return
tat
favor.
kind of thing?
Yeah, because it's both. It's the same thing, but
Yeah.
It's definitely it's a social contract.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's not one that you can really formally breach. It's
Yeah.
more like a
hope everyone understands the implicit rule.
yeah. I think it's even probably less than holding the door for somebody and having them say thank you.
On the grand scheme of social norms, an even playing field of oral sex goes before
You know what? It's
holding
probably,
door open and saying thank you.
I think it's probably more along the lines of waving somebody to turn, and they usually give the wave, but if they don't,
It's fine.
yeah, it's
yeah.
fine.
If we're ranking every polite manner, which we are.
I'm just thinking though, like she seems to be worried that she's selfish and that she's like not being honest. Like she has all these worries that are actually probably a little bit legitimate or something. So I don't know. I know she sounds like she really likes the guy. I mean, I think again, maybe it's time for like a conversation, not about, I think we can let the sex part of it go, but I just wonder if there's like something that's where, I don't know, they're not feeling like equivalent or on a par. I don't know.
It's also, she's 18, doing this stuff for the first time.
Yeah,
After
that's
a month
true.
of like hooking up with somebody, I think everybody's like having fun exploring everybody's bodies, and it's like fun and sexy, but it's you haven't like learned people's tricks yet.
Yeah.
that
That's
usually
true.
happens
Good point.
after a couple more months, and some like candid conversations and stuff, which I think that you grow into. There's no, my advice wouldn't be like have this conversation now. Just do your thing. Keep it up.
Just keep it up and just,
Sex is like tennis. You're not going to be good after 6 weeks. Like,
Well, I was actually pretty naturally gifted at tennis,
I was a phenom in some regards.
and the opposite at sex.
Sex and tennis are inversely proportional.
The better you are at tennis, Andy Roddick can't get off.
At love. Cool. The end?
yeah.
Anything more to say?
Yeah, I can't. I feel like I'm being too hard on a lot of these people by like making them have conversations and being like way too earnest.
No,
So
that's
Conversing's
good.
a beautiful thing.
conversing's good, but I think
Honesty is important.
honesty is. But like, yeah, I gotta lighten up. So I say, 18-year-old, just keep moving forward,
Doing your thing.
doing your thing. It's all gonna happen, and it'll be great.
Do you know what age all of your children lost their virginities?
Jesus Christ, dude.
What? How open are you with your children about this sexual...
I you
thing.
know, at
Did the triplets tell you?
Yeah, I know when they. Yeah, I know when they did, and I know when Hannah did. I don't know you, and I don't know Mike. I never like pried into
That makes
what
sense.
was going. I mean, you guys never shared it, and I didn't pry with the girl. I mean, I just kind of knew.
Yeah. Well, we're not having this conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Jake, do you know?
When I lost my virginity?
No, when everybody in your family did?
Just Micah.
There we go. Boys will be boys. Cool. All right. Thank you for being on our show again.
Oh, this was so much fun. Thank you for having me. It's wonderful. I hope that I will be local next time.
That'd be great. Next time we record in your new home in Los Angeles, probably.
And Mother,
yeah.
tell everybody the name of your podcast.
We're actually out of time, but thank you so much for listening to our show. If I were you, for more episodes of our show. Yeah, what is your
It's
podcast?
called the Easy Chair Podcast.
And what is it? What's the
And it's
logline?
short stories. And also, once a month, we have a special little episode called Should Have Swiped Left.
Oh.
And it's with Hannah, Jake's older sister, who is still single. And she does a lot of dating. That's
Oh.
just what she does.
Interesting.
So Jake and Hannah discuss Hannah's dating life and usually dating debacles.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is pretty fun. It really is. Jake has really like good and sensitive and thoughtful advice.
That's right.
He really does. Surprisingly. No,
Crazy,
I'm
right?
joking.
You wouldn't
No.
know it by listening to this show,
Yeah,
but I guess he
I'm
turns
just
it on
like-
for yours. So the Easy Chair.
The Easy Chair, and it's
on the
really
HeadGum Network. That's
yeah,
right.
on HeadGum, and it's awesome. It really is, and I have a lot of guest writers and stuff. So yeah, it's interesting.
Cool. So
So-
if you want more Laura Hurwitz, check out the Easy Chair. And we'll be back next week with more questions. If you have your own, send it on down to ifiwereyoushow@gmail.com. Theme songs. We need more theme songs. The opening one was written by Willie, and this closing one was written by Chris Stair.
Ooh,
Awesome name,
all
dude.
right.
He's named after the coolest thing, stairs. Yeah, I don't know. We'll be back in a single week. So talk to you guys.
See you
then.
next year.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
No, this is actually the first episode of
January?
2017.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year indeed.
Got to be better than 2016.
Starting now.
Could be worse.
So you got some problems and you're hoping to solve them. Well, today's the day that you do. 'Cause Jake and me, I finally hear. And if I were you, starts now.
That was a HeadGum podcast.